Directing a Rajini movie in Kollywood can be the biggest gamble of one's life, which means that if you win, it can make you spike up to the stratosphere and spend years working with the creamiest or highest top level stars. Example is K.S. Ravi Kumar, done so many movies with Rajini and Kamal, both of them. For example, he did Muthu Padayappa with Rajinikanth. He did Avai Shanmugi Dasavadaram with Kamal Hassan. So a very successful run indeed. And also others like Suresh Krishna, for example, also had opportunity to work with both the stars. And especially with Rajini, he managed to do a few films, very iconic films at that. The decision of a director, it's like the Icarus legend, where he flew too close to the sun and got destroyed. So superstar Rajinikanth is like the peak hero. So if you decide to jump into a project with him, you better take it very seriously and you better have done your homework. Because even let's say the film is average grossing, but if it was done with a solid, how to say, solid work ethic, then it's still sort of forgiven. For example, Maniratnam's Talapati might not be the biggest hit of Rajini's years long career, but it's still a very very solid quality work of art, so it will stand the test of time, right? It did of course it did collect decently well, but not at the level of some of superstars biggest hits like Chandramukhi or Indiran, right? So that is that. So now to the question of whether Rajinikanth is destroying the careers of Kollywood directors, whether intentionally or not. That's a very interesting topic now, because some directors' name have cropped up in recent years. For example, C.B. Chakravarti, who gave the film Dawn with Sivakarthikeyan, right? So he had a few meetings with Rajini, and when that didn't take off, his career also stumbled quite a while before finally latching on again to Sivakarthikeyan, right? And even Arun Raja Kamaraj, I believe, another he also gave a decent cricket-based film, and he was also the rumors were saying that he met Rajini and so on. Again, nothing much came of it. And of course, the very very popular story that many people know, Desing Periyasamy, he gave a decent romantic film with Dulquer Salman, I believe, Kannum Kannum Kollayadital, and then he had like he is a real hardcore fan of Rajini, and he had this grand king based story, royalty based story with Rajini, but Rajini was worried about the physical exertion and the scale was very big. So he took some time listening to Desing, but ultimately dropped him. And Desing, I am not sure why. Maybe he was too rigid in his beliefs. He did not try to work with other projects. He just held on to that King script, and he was hanging around with Simbu for a while to bring the project forward. But Simbu's films also did not do so well. So Desing Periyasamy is left hanging, right? So those who join a project with Rajini, even with the rumors alone, once Rajini rejects them, it definitely affects their career, right? Even in a sense, Rajini himself seems to be aware of this. He said so in Jailer audio launch, Jailer Success Meet, I believe, where he said that he was worried about Nelson's career if he gets like rejected after being confirmed as the director for that project. So Rajini is not unaware, and he also in another public function, has mentioned that sometimes if he doesn't announce a project, many directors keep contacting him to narrate stories and all, and he also feels a bit how to say, in a catch-22 situation, whether to say yes or no, and to listen to them and everything. So but you see, you can't blame him also. He can't just be charitable. If he keeps being charitable for every single proposal, then before you know it, his own performance gonna go down the drain. So he still has to get a solid script, right? But one of the weakness of Rajini, I think, is that he tends to follow the trend too much. Of course, you have to be in trend to be successful, but you must also, how to say, encourage the filmmaker to bring his own voice out, because that's what made him popular in the first place. So I think he did that with Nelson, but I think with Lokesh he failed a bit in the context like this. First of all, Lokesh was giving this. I think this is because of producer role as well, because producer says give me 1,000 crore movie, and Lokesh, rather than being honest to his craft, being honest to his voice, decided to put in an item song which is not typical Lokesh style, right? So it felt artificial and forced. The what Monica is it the song inside the movie didn't blend well and all that. So all these things, small things, affects the ultimate quality. And the script also felt forced. They were trying to make it convoluted unnecessarily just to sort of prove a point to the audience. So those are some of the weakness, and also the core story itself. I mean, even any normal hero is it, what kind of a cremation technology device, they were just throwing it out the window. But Rajini's weakness of following the trend made him to sort of close one eye to such a weak story. So I think both Lokesh should have been honest to his voice by not agreeing for all these item songs, and Rajini also should have been more strict about the type of story he accepted. Because if Rajini were to reject directors because story is not satisfactory as per the rumor for the Sundar C project of தலைவர் 173, then how could he approve such a weak story by Lokesh, right? So maybe when the director is in trend, giving a hit, having a momentum, the star also let down their guard. So this lead to projects that are sort of half-baked, like what we had with Coolie. All resources given, money, actors, everything he could have wanted, but the product was quite middling. So of course Lokesh also is a person whose career you can say was affected by his performance as superstar, because after that his supposed project with Amir Khan became silent, and his even Kaidi 2 has sort of slowed down. The only obvious project he has now is he's acting as a hero with Adru Matheswaran as a director, and even that apparently the production house wanted to drop it as per the rumors, and from one of those popular media channels, and apparently Anirudh tried to get it moving with lower salaries and so on. So I think the fault lies in both sides. Rajini also need to be aware of his responsibility as one of the peak stars in Kollywood, that anything negative in association with this discussion with director can affect them. So maybe he can try to make it how to say, less obvious to people that he's it can be made to look like a casual visit by a director rather than like a serious story discussion. The director should also be wise to not jump the gun and say anything before formal official announcement. And after the Sundar C debacle, we can see that even after official announcement, you can never know for sure. Sundar C is a bit different because he seemed like he initiated the way he wrote the post, social media post. He initiated it, and also unlike Nelson and all, who Rajini was concerned being at the beginning of their career, Sundar C is quite well settled. He's got his own series of franchise films, Aranmane, and he's got Mukuthi Amman 2 coming up and so on. So he's quite well settled. He's not really depending so much on Rajini and Kamal anyway. So maybe both parties were not too concerned about walking out from the project. But this raised another concern that Rajini and maybe Kamal announcing projects too casually without really locking the story, the team, everything down. Kamal has had so many dropped projects, Indian 3, Marudanayagam, right? But it's, I mean, the long list, Taliban Irikuran, and so on and so forth. But Rajini mostly tries to complete his projects. So I hope both Rajini and the directors wake up.